Application is item number 8, an application for certificate of appropriateness in Manhattan, docket number 15-8917, block 510, lot 6, 284 Lafayette Street in the Soho Cast Iron Historic District. A neo-Grec style factory building designed by John R. Thomas and built in 1891 to 92. And the application is to remove vault light covers and to install diamond plate steel at the sidewalk.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Abby Carlo, Preservation Staff. The application is to remove cast iron vault covers in conjunction with the reconstruction of vaults under Crosby Street, located on the western portion of the building at 284 Lafayette Street, which is a through block building, founded on the east by Lafayette Street and on the west by Crosby. The proposal is to reconstruct one of the 4 vaults where historic vault covers are proposed to be removed. The vault covers are currently covered with diamond plate and not visible from a public thoroughfare, which was their attempt of designation. They will install new steel structural supports, concrete decking, and diamond plate, so there will be no change in appearance of the street. Additionally, there are no remaining historic cast iron vault covers at the remaining vaults at Crosby Street, and that portion of the proposal is being reviewed at staff level. The applicant is here to discuss the details.
All right, you want to start?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Brian Chester from Howard Zimmerman Architects, here on behalf of the building. So to give you a quick summary of what's happening, they have bad sidewalks, not waterproof, so we want to give them that back. So pedestrians that are walking along Crosby Street today, pending approval, will see the same thing tomorrow once the repairs are done. There will still be the steel-faced concrete curb, concrete sidewalk flags, and diamond plate steel covering the wall lights.
So from the street, there really won't be any difference, is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the address is 284 Lafayette Street, but again, the sidewalk is on Crosby Street, which is much less traveled. So kind of to walk you through what is adjacent, it's broken up into 4 vaults, all of which have only diamond plate at street level. And only Vault 2 has the remaining glass vault lights, which are covered up underneath. So quickly, here's Vault 1, diamond plate, no vault lights underneath. Vault 2, which is what we're here to talk about, there is the vault lights underneath, diamond plate on top. We'll come back to this. More of the same on top, Vault 3, and Vault 4, diamond plate on top, no vault lights. So to give you an idea underneath, the vault lights are in disrepair. There's significant section loss throughout all of the cast iron. Probably, I'd say 30 to 40% of the lights are even intact anymore. And there's large panels missing. Sort of a better picture of what is a typical condition throughout. Again, in bad shape. So, really fixing these is sort of out of the question, unfortunately. And so this is the area. I have 185 square feet. It's actually a little bit less if you consider the columns and whatnot. So, again, severely deteriorated. There's most of the glass, probably 40% is missing. And then sort of another important thing is DOT live load requirements. We want a truck to be able to park on this and not end up in the vault. So this is what we have now. My gray hatch is where the diamond plate currently is. You'll see underneath I'm using a different hatch, but it's the same exact thing. The flags are going to be aligned with adjacent. Same curb, well, it'll be a new curb, because that's deteriorated, but everything will be the same on top, as I said before. A quick cross-section for you, and then just so you can get an idea of adjacent, there's actually, at least on this stretch of street, not a lot of vault lights or evidence of them anywhere. There is one section, the sidewalk is here, but there are some glass block, which kind of a fake representation, I guess.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for the applicant? Okay. Yes.
So, in terms of the glass lights, we're saying then that he's taking them out. That's the difference, right?
They're taking them
So
out.
you'll still see what you see on top now.
Right.
But, so we're saying that there's no hope for those ever in the future. No one will ever want to repair them, and so we just,
Right, I think in
We're
front
just
of their
getting-
building, they have different portions. There's only one portion which has these glass lights. That's going to be removed, but they
yeah,
have
that one part, so.
just one
yeah,
part,
so
right.
we're-
And they said it's too deteriorated, and for structural reasons also impractical to bring it back.
Correct.
Okay. Barbara Zay?
Barbara Zay of the Historic Districts Council. Replacing the existing diamond plate with new diamond plate is not in itself a bad solution. However, there is an opportunity here to return this sidewalk to its historic condition with the reintroduction of vault lights, a feature seen throughout much of the Soho Cast Iron Historic District. As always, HDC would love to see the return of vault lights, which are manufactured by Circle Redmont in Melbourne, Florida, and elsewhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more speakers?
Let me just ask
Yes.
one other question.
Yeah.
So, are there some areas where we are doing replacement of vault lights ever? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it just seems like we do the diamond.
Very often, right,
cover,
we're removing
and
that.
then- And so it just seems to go in one direction. So,
On occasion,
Right. Yes.
we do have applicants put in vault
Vault
lights
lights.
where there already is the remaining vault light structure, and it is repairable. So they're not going away completely, but in other cases where it is beyond repair, and they've been covered up, we do approve the.
I hardly remember anywhere where we actually kept it, but okay.
Okay. Community Board 2 recommends denial of this application unless the portion of the sidewalk with existing vault lights is repaired or replaced with reasonable copies, and the diamond plate be only used to cover areas where there are no existing vault lights. So in other words, they really just turned down the application because that's really what's before us. So they've recommended disapproval. All right. Are there any more questions for the applicant, or can we close the hearing? Can we close it? Okay. I don't have to say this, but all in favor? Closed it. Okay. I understand your concern, Roberta, about where we can reclaim these
Yeah, it just
vault
seems to
lights.
go in one direction. I don't, okay, yes.
But I think they've shown, at least in this situation, they've got some photographs, they've shown the deterioration of those vault lights, and I think it would probably be a very,
But they could
difficult
be,
proposition.
deterioration doesn't mean that they couldn't be
Replaced?
replaced. It means that maybe they can't be repaired. But it seems that the main reason that they really don't want to do it is because they want to have the sidewalk to be able to accept truckloads and whatever. I'm just
right.
wondering if,
But I am
Yeah.
curious, maybe I'm new to this, but I don't know what the benefits is to necessarily replace the vault lights if they're finally covered. What would?
Well,
I'm just
I'm just saying, we're just
I mean, if
taking
we
them
could
out, so
cut-
you will never, I don't think we'll ever, there's another. Okay, fine. No, okay.
Okay, yes.
I was going to say, we've seen many of these proposals, and of course, on the same street, it's reflected that they've been replaced with diamond plate. And while, I really like the vault lights, I think we have consistently approved applications similar to this, where the vault lights were very deteriorated, to replace them with diamond plate, just because we don't ask them, we have not been asking applicants to come in and make a replacement as opposed to a restoration of the diamond plate. That's my understanding from many, many previous occasions. So I think it would,
Right, we've asked them
it
to-
would
we
be
haven't asked them to
unfair to
replace
this
it,
applicant. Yeah.
And we've normally agreed with a solution like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Michael and then.
It's an unfortunate aspect of vault lights that they're made with two materials in a situation that's almost guaranteed to ultimately fail, because they're put on sidewalks that get salted. When the cast iron gets salted, it corrodes more quickly. As it corrodes, it expands, cracks the glass. And so we end up with this situation, a mechanical situation that is a loser. The alternative for me, from a strictly preservationist perspective, is yes, replacing them. There are two companies that I know of that make replacement cast iron and glass or plastic vault light systems. But if you remove the original, then all you're doing is installing a new vault light system. So you're only sort of getting the look, you're not getting the artifact anymore. So I have less of a problem replacing these things, knowing that, okay, at some point in the future, if a future owner wishes to reuse that cellar area and reinstall a vault light, they can do that. This is a reversible process. But if that's the issue
I
for me
understand.
with these things,
I-
and it's very unfortunate, but it really is it's a system that's guaranteed to ultimately fail because of corrosion.
Right, yes. Yes. Okay, so I think we can all support this, right? Okay. Roberta, do you want to read this? It's ironic, I'm just going in order, that's all.
Okay, certificate, in the matter of certificate of appropriateness for 284 Lafayette Street. Application is to remove vault light covers and to install diamond steel plate at the sidewalk. I recommend approval, finding that the removal of the historic vault lights will not result in a perceptible change in the streetscape, as the vault lights were concealed from view at the time of designation, that the existing vault lights are highly deteriorated and comprise only a small portion of the existing vaults along Crosby Street, that the cast iron vault light panels and platforms are not a prominent feature on this block, which is now entirely paved with concrete and diamond plate, that the proposed work to rebuild the vaults will support the long-term preservation of the building by reducing damage to the structure through water infiltration, and that the overall effect of the proposed work will not detract from or diminish the special architectural and historic character of the streetscape or historic district.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it's passed.